Cameron Artis Payne. The Red Sox were featured on MLB Network's 30 Teams in 30 Days. I've got kind of four central takeaways here. One, the team is very, very high on Alex Verdugo, the outfielder acquired last year. Hit 308 last year for the Sox, by the way. He was acquired in the Mookie Betts trade. Here's Sox GM Brian O'Halloran on Verdugo and the impact of him as we move into 2021.
Yeah, I think he brings an unbelievable energy to the game, to the ballpark every day. I think it's unfortunate that we had to play without fans for a million different reasons last year, and hopefully we'll get a full ballpark over time here this season. I think our fans are really going to love watching this guy play. I think they get what they saw on TV, but in person it's going to be even better.
Okay, I agree with O'Halloran. Verdugo is a guy who is really, really important to what the Red Sox are doing this year. And the Napa-Morrisville, Napa-Waterbury text line is open, 802-585-3026. Verdugo plays with a ton of passion and a ton of energy, and the Sox gave him a chance to play every day. When he was with the Dodgers, who were loaded, he wasn't really a guy that would play against lefties. He'd hit well against righties, and then they'd platoon him against lefties. The Sox have given him a chance to play every day and to make the most of his big league career. And I know he's grateful to the Red Sox for that opportunity. And the Sox are grateful to have a young, athletic guy that can patrol their outfield now and hit at the top of their order. And again, he hit 308. And he's a huge part of their offense moving forward because he gives them another much-needed lefty presence in that lineup. When I think of, it's the one big complaint I have about the Red Sox right now is that they're very, very imbalanced in terms of right and left-handed hitters. When you talk about the Sox, Bogarts, right-handed. J.D. Martinez, right-handed. Kike Hernandez, right-handed. Christian Vasquez, right-handed. Michael Chavis, if he's there, right-handed. So there's a huge contingent of right-handed hitters for the Red Sox right now. And then, oh, by the way, Bobby Dahlbeck, right-handed hitter. So, the Sox are right-handed heavy. Devers on the left side, and then Verdugo and Franchy Cordero are two lefties. They're going to need to produce to give that lineup some kind of balance. It's another reason why it's so important that Marwin Gonzalez and Danny Santana are on this team or in this organization. If Santana makes the team, if he's healthy, I believe that he probably would. So if Santana makes the team, him and Marwin Gonzalez there as switch hitters does give Alex Cora some more left-handed sticks and options off the bench. So I like what the Red Sox have. I've said it from the start. I don't think they're a contender this year, but they've done a good job at fielding a representative baseball team this year. Verdugo is a guy that we really do need to watch in 2021 because he brings a youthful energy and excitement, left-handed bat, plays with some speed, good arm, good defensively in the outfield. And they're going to need that trying to replace Jackie Bradley Jr. My number two kind of takeaway from the Sox on MLB Network is Alex Cora was speaking, and he said his team needs to play faster. And I wondered what that meant. What does playing faster mean? And Cora specifically said it does not just mean stealing bases. So don't think that this team is going to run wildly and run into outs. So if it doesn't mean that, then what does playing faster mean? I think he's just emphasizing that his team and his organization needed to get more athletic. You couldn't be – the Red Sox were getting station to station, right? They had Martinez. They had they'd lost Mookie Betts. So last year, look at it and say, okay, they have Mitch Moreland. And they just had some older players that were station to station. They had Steve Pearce a while back. And when you lose Mookie, you lose a lot of speed at the top of that order. There's athleticism now with Verdugo. There's athleticism with Kike Hernandez. Xander Bogaerts is still athletic and young. Franchy Cordero can run. There's athleticism coming in the system with Jeter Downs and Jarren Duran, who, by the way, Jarren Duran has played very well at spring training. There was a great story on him from John Paul Morosi of Fox Sports and MLB Network about how Duran wanted at one point to be a Navy SEAL. He wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and now here he is. And I believe he was the MVP of his winter ball team in Puerto Rico. And so Duran has some real skills. He probably doesn't start the year with this team, but he should be here at the end of the year, especially if the Sox trade away pieces like I think that they will. So there's athleticism in the system. There's more athleticism at the major league level than there has been in the last couple of years. I think the Red Sox can be aggressive going first to third, maybe put the game in motion a bit. They hopefully aren't as reliant on the home run this year. Everybody in baseball is reliant on the home run, but I think the Sox will have the ability to be creative in how they deploy a defensive alignment and in terms of what they can do offensively with a lot of their pieces there. Alex Cora also said that the Red Sox need to play better defense in 2021. And I got to admit, it's not sexy to talk about, but like, this is where I'm really worried about this team. Like, really worried. And I'm curious, for you, 585-3026, what is your biggest worry about the 2021 Red Sox? Mine is, man, the defense is right near the top of it. If it's not one, it's 1A, because I trust they're going to be good up the middle, which is really important. Vasquez is good defensively. Bogarts, Kike Hernandez at second, and Verdugo in center. I trust that the middle of the diamond, the most important part, I trust that that's going to be pretty good. But beyond that, it's everywhere else I have no idea. Devers has been incredibly spotty in his career at third base. Bobby Dahlbeck, Chavis, whatever combo at first base, that's not Mitch Moreland, who was an excellent defender when he was here. Franchi Cordero is a hit-first guy who is, I've seen his power mentioned. I've seen his strikeouts mentioned. I've seen his speed mentioned. I have not heard one single solitary soul talk about his defense. So if we're not talking about his defense, it leads me to believe he's not really a glove guy. Hunter Renfroe, never been a glove guy. So this team has versatility, and I love that when they have Santana and Marlon Gonzalez, they can bring in guys late in games for defensive purposes, and I think they're going to need to. But defensively, I am worried about this team because you've lost Mookie Betts, a Gold Glover, Jackie Bradley, a Gold Glover, and Andrew Benintendi, a very good defensive left fielder for Fenway Park. You've lost all of them in the span of 12 months. You are not having that outfield maybe ever again. So the outfield gets worse overall. Devers is meh. Dahlbeck and Chavis are young, and they're not Mitch Moreland. I think the defense is a real concern. And this pitching staff, by the way, is going to need a good defense. Martin Perez isn't striking out 14 guys and doing it all himself. He's going to need you to make some plays behind him. Chris Sale, when he comes back, is not mowing down 16 with 16 Ks. Erod can strike guys out, but he throws, 93, not 97. Guys are going to put the ball in play against the Red Sox. The defense better be able to make some plays, and I got a feeling that's going to be one of the weaker parts of this team. Number 4, kind of a minor takeaway from the MLB Network appearance, but I did like what JD Martinez had to say about being a mentor to younger teammates. Okay, I am always amazed at the willingness of guys to just give up information. I am amazed at that always. It's a really competitive business, and jobs are incredibly rare, and they're incredibly valuable, and they can be taken away very, very easily. I absolutely could see guys withholding information in order to gain an advantage over younger players. 100%. I absolutely could. In fact, I think it would be human nature to withhold information from guys who are coming up to take your job. If you feel threatened, I could easily see you not giving up information. Heck, I'd probably not give up information if I was feeling threatened. And, maybe Martinez is at a point in his career where he's got the money, he's got the control in his contract, because the player option, or the option in his contract after this year is a player option. So maybe he feels more secure and he makes enough money that he feels okay. But you look at that Astros team that he references when he was in Houston, he was there for parts of 3 seasons. His teams won 56, 55, and 51 games. It's got to be the worst in the league for each of those 3 years. It's got to be the worst. 56 and 106, 55 and 107, and 51 and 111 were his records there for those teams in Houston. Those guys weren't winning a World Series, so, you know, hey, if we're not going to win the World Series, I'm going to withhold the good stuff, and I'm going to keep it for myself because at the very least, I'm only playing for me. We're so bad that I'm playing for me now. And I'm just amazed at when a guy like Martinez says, yeah, I give up everything. Because I think that that's cool. And I think that that is maybe not as rare as I thought it is in my life, but it's still, I got to imagine there are guys like Martinez references who just aren't that helpful. A couple of things here on the text line. We get one in from Joe and Winooski, who says, Brady, where do you think the Red Sox finished this year? I've said it for a while. I think the Red Sox finished 4th. I think they are a much better team and much more interesting than I thought they were a month ago, without a doubt. Adam Ottavino, Marwin Gonzalez, Danny Santana, they have made some good moves to get representative, Garrett Richards, to get representative talent on this team. They are absolutely better than they were a month ago. I just think they're 4th in the division. If they play in the AL Central, they're better than the Tigers. They're better than the Royals. I don't think they're better than Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland's particularly great. They're better than Houston. I'm sorry, they're better than Texas, rather. They might be better than Seattle. I don't think they're anywhere near the bottom of the American League. But I also just think they happen to play in the best division in the American League. And they might win 78 games. They might win 82 games, but they're not going to be anywhere near the playoffs. So the Napa Morrisville, Napa Waterbury text line is open every single day, 585-3026. All right.